doing it. You supposed to be happy you sitting there with Kid L. Why you mad?
The Kid L Podcast.
Introduce yourself to the camera real quick, bro.
No pick, man. No pick Bizz.
Yes, sir, man.
Capital asshole shit. F17. I'll do anything but hate a turn state.
Are you from Detroit, bro?
Nah, I'm from Lansing.
Lansing. Okay, cool. Is there a music scene out in Lansing right now?
It's plenty of motherfuckers out there doing music, but I'm gonna let you know something right now.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never meet another Lansing nigga like me.
Mm.
A nigga who rap the shit that I rap and spit how I spit it and live the life that I live. You'll never have another nigga come on the show who can talk how I talk and live the same life that I live.
Well, listen, a lot of people are the first on the show, but you are definitely the first rapper from Lansing, and that's me saying that on the show for sure. I've never spoken to a Lansing artist. Now, I haven't heard about the Lansing scene in particular yet. Can you talk about what's going on over there?
There's just a bunch of niggas, you know, they working, but that shit niggas ain't got the right plans and niggas ain't never had nobody blow up out there to even show them how to move. So it's like everybody rapping, they putting their shit on social media like Facebooks and Instagrams and shit, but that's all it go. They don't go no farther than that. So niggas ain't really getting no notice out of that motherfucker.
More of like a popularity thing than actually turning it into something.
Yeah, niggas ain't making no money off that shit.
Yeah. It's like you go to the college party and everybody recognizes you because you make music or you're a rapper, but it's like it doesn't convert into cash.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still working off that scholarship or...
No, hell yeah, that's what we on. We them niggas that's gonna be... Y'all gonna be looking at making that money off that music, because that's what we do.
Talk about how music started for you. When did you start getting into the booth and recording?
First time I started recording, I was 16. I had me some little money. I got tired of going to little bullshit ass basement motherfucking studios, and the shit sounded shitty as hell. So I finally went to a real booth.
Do you remember the first producer you worked with?
DJ Eclipse.
Cool.
That's my man.
Mm-hmm. Talk about that process. Did you always know you wanted to get into music, or was it kind of just falling your lap, or how did it work out for you?
Growing up and shit, you know, niggas wanted to hoop and do all that shit, play sports. But I've been writing since I was like 8. I wrote my first rap when I was 8. So
yeah.
But I never wanted to rap until like I ended up going to juvenile and got kicked out of school, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm in the streets. I'm about to rap now. Like, the basketball shit was over, the football shit was over, so it was like time to motherfucking put that pad, and niggas already knew me for rapping at school and all that shit, so.
Do you feel like you actually had like some type of opportunity coming from playing sports or anything like that?
I was cold, but shit, I got kicked out in 9th grade. They caught me with a gun in the school, so.
Damn.
I got kicked out of public schools. That was the last of me.
Was carrying a gun at that time in school a safety thing, or kind of?
No, that was more me on some street shit. Like,
okay,
it wasn't like I needed that motherfucker on me, but I was out there doing whatever I was doing. And I'm at school with it, so I ended up getting into a fight with a nigga, and he told him I had that bitch on me. They ended up coming in there searching me. They found it on me, because I'm not thinking they finna come in there and searching me. I'm at school. Like, who searches kids? You know, they're gonna give you your suspension. You gonna go home. They came in that bitch, searched me, lift me up, found that motherfucker, and I was locked up for about 8 months after that.
Well, that's when they put you in juvenile.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. So, juvenile hell. Yeah. I haven't heard any good stories from it. But did you leave with anything? Did any of it kind of discipline you, or did anything kind of change your perspective on anything going through that?
Being in going to placement, juvenile placement.
Yeah.
I couldn't say I really learned nothing from that. Cause shit, once they let me out, shit, I was back doing the same shit.
Yeah. It's, you can't, like, once you kind of live a certain lifestyle, you can't just like walk away from it, right? Like, it's not just easy as getting up.
It depends on how deep you into that lifestyle. If you out here robbing motherfuckers, shooting at motherfuckers, doing that type of shit, no matter how much time you go, you can go away for 10, 15 years, come back. Depending on what you did to another motherfucker family, they might want to see about that, so.
Yeah.
You can't never just disregard what you done did in your life.
Right on.
Like, I'm about to get out and be a working man. No, a motherfucker can't wait to catch you coming out of work. You got to take that into heave. Like, motherfucker might still be looking for me.
Talk a little bit about the music. What was the first time you noticed you were getting reciprocation for your music?
Like, I've been getting love in my city. Like,
what was the first moment where you really recognized it, though?
I had dropped my first little mixtape. It's called Stole Music back when I was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And then I was actually, motherfucking, we was going to the store, we was riding, and I heard a motherfucker playing my song while I was going to the store.
Yeah.
That's when I knew I was like, okay.
You didn't stop him, right? And be like,
No,
yeah,
no,
that's
no,
shit.
no,
You just
no,
like
no,
you just heard it while it was passing by.
Nah, I ain't do that.
Yeah. So after that releases, what's like the social media analytics and everything like that? Were you dealing with social media at the time, or was it just purely off of?
Nah, this was street. They had MySpace and shit back then. I put a little MySpace.
You look young as hell, bro. I can't even motherfucker.
Nah, I'm a 30 boy.
Oh goddamn! You know what? Okay, I see it. So at that time, MySpace and shit. So we didn't have no Instagram or nothing like that for real. So at that time, it was just off the strength of who you are and how big you got your name circulated in the city.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just go on the internet and find a motherfucker, right?
Nah, hell nah.
Talk about the differences between that and what's happening right now, because social media is so relevant versus like back in the day when it's CDs and showing up at events.
Yeah, you had to put a lot of groundwork in back then. You got to go to these stores, put your CDs in these stores, put posters up. You got to go different places to meet people. That's the only way you was going to be able to get out there. Now you can sit at your crib and sit at the studio or whatever and send everything sitting on your ass and become the man by sitting on your ass.
Do you appreciate one side more than the other, or do you just feel like, okay, this is just that new time, this is the way it is?
No, I appreciate the beginning stages and this stage, because this stage right here, I'm not saying like it's easy because motherfuckers sitting on they can do it from their computers or their phones or whatever, but it's definitely, motherfucker, it's a better opportunity to get your voice heard rather than back then where you had to fucking drive 20 hours to go somewhere to do a feature or meet with somebody.
Yeah. The internet literally changed the game, and people are still adapting to it. Talk a little bit about the next milestones after that. You dropped the tape. You're getting reciprocation for the tape. You're hearing people play it in their cars and whatnot. What was kind of the next big move for you?
Shit, I dropped another mixtape next month. And it's like these are my beginning stages of rap, though. You feel me? Like people. So when they hear me drop 2 mixtapes in the same summer, they like, okay, this little nigga on something. So they start taking me a little bit more serious with music. Even though when I go back and listen, I hate it. Like what the fuck was I talking about? I don't even want to hear that shit. Like,
you kind of took the Carter approach, like just drop mixtape after mixtape after mixtape, Lil Wayne type.
Nah,
shit.
they still love that shit. Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people are debating whether you should only put out exclusive content, like drop a tape every like 4 or 5 months, or drop just whenever you got it ready, go. What approach do you think is the best way to go with it?
Shit, if you don't run out of material, why not drop? I mean, if you just sit on your music, like what's that gonna do? I want to make music. I want to keep getting better and better and just keep dropping, letting people hear me. I don't care about sitting on no music, but some people approach is sit on it and work your songs.
I think some people sit on it too because they feel like if they do get signed, then they have that like banger, and they just don't want to drop it for a little limited audience to hear it. They want to drop it when the whole world can probably hear it. But then what if that song could have helped you get to that point instead of you sitting on it?
Nah, most definitely. I mean, it's about how you gonna work it too, though. Cause like in my beginning stages right now, like I got so much shit. Like I can drop a whole project full of cold shit, but if we not working the songs, like making videos and putting them on these big platforms for them to be seen, it's like they not really getting heard because I'm being from a small market that I'm from. I'm being from Lansing, so motherfuckers not gonna hear my whole projects if I don't work them.
When you see, other cities are kind of getting acknowledgement right now, especially Flint right now. Like at one point we were hearing about Detroit, and now we're hearing about Flint. Do you feel like Lansing is going to be a topic, or do you not care too much to be like, okay, well, Lansing's up next on my end? Or do you care to represent it like that?
No, I'm me. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for the whole city. Like everybody gonna come. It's gonna be a whole Lansing rap scene gonna be. I can't speak like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what niggas gonna do. I know what we gonna do. And the noise that we making and the shit that we already seeing, we know where we going with it.
Are you working more so in Detroit when it comes to features and collaborations and stuff like that?
Yeah, I got Jug. I got a lot of motherfuckers that I was locked up from the city that fuck with me. So, yeah, I'm basically, my market is the city because that's what it is. Like, when we come talking about music right now as a whole, Detroit, that Detroit sound is what got ears. The Memphis shit is Detroit and the Florida shit. And me being from the Midwest right here, shit, I can hop on Detroit beats and talk crazy. I'm not taking nobody's sauce. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking nobody's style, none of that. But we definitely gonna use them beats and we gonna go crazy.
Yeah, what's the problem with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not. I always look at it like that's the headquarters for Michigan's entertainment scene.
No, most definitely. Like you
California
gotta get
has
some,
LA.
you gotta have some. That's the biggest city. That's the mecca of Michigan. Like Detroit. So if you in any urban city, you gotta motherfucking fuck with Detroit. If you talking about this music shit.
Yeah, for sure. I would never understand that when people go like, "Oh, Flint isn't Detroit. Warren isn't Detroit. This isn't Detroit. This isn't Detroit." I'm like, bro, shut up, man. Like everybody's trying to make it, and Detroit happens to be where everybody's making the music and the entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we talking about where somebody's coming from? We're all from the same damn state.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, you encountered the same things. When you're living in Lansing, do you have friends in Detroit at the time, and do you kind of can you guys kind of relate to the same situations growing up?
I lived in Detroit when I was younger, so my whole family, like my aunties and all them, they from Detroit, so I be down there. So
okay,
it's not like I'm from Lansing and I don't know nothing about Detroit. Like I fuck with them heavy. They fuck with me. They love me down. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about your time growing up in Detroit a little bit. I thought when I was talking about where you're from, I thought like I meant like.
No, I grew up in Lansing, but I lived in Detroit when I was a kid. Like I was like 4 or 5, that type of age, 6. But I'm always in there because my aunties and them who took me in when my mom was in prison lived down there. So.
Oh, okay. Is there like is living in Lansing? I don't really know what Lansing looks like or how Lansing is, but what's it kind of like? Is there any comparisons to Detroit as far as anything?
I mean, you got a bunch of niggas from Detroit and Lansing. So, but the thing about Lansing, I ain't gonna speak on Lansing as a whole. I'm gonna tell you about the black community. Like Lansing is like 27,000 black people, right? We got 115 overpopulation, 115,000 people. Out of those 27,000 black people, I would say like 3/4 of them, like Uncle Tom, Aunt Vivian type shit. Like we the quarter, the crowd, we the motherfuckers that grew up watching our moms smoke work, shooting up packs and motherfucking going to juvenile placements and motherfuckers in and out of shelters and motherfuckers hustling when we 14, we stealing cars and that's the shit that that's the shit that I talk about, that crowd of Lansing. And that's our street crowd is not like we in the capital, so it's not gonna be as big as a corrupt city like Flint or Detroit. But the same shit goes on with those crowds. Like my baby right here from Chicago, like there's a lot of Chicago niggas in motherfucking Lansing, there's a lot of Detroit niggas, it's a mixture. But the crowd, you gotta know the crowd of people who do the crimes and who party and live that type of life, because everybody in the whole of Lansing, it's not a big ass city. Like you're not gonna ride through Lansing and be like, where the hood at, and then you ride through some shit and you just see all type of niggas outside and shit.
Yeah, right.
You niggas is motherfucking put up, niggas is hustling, niggas in the house 10 deep, 15 deep, because the police don't let you hang out on the blocks like that, because they gonna pull up, tell you to get the fuck on. So niggas be motherfucking, niggas don't get it wrong, niggas get their issues, everything go down, but you ain't gonna see niggas unless you know them. You gotta know when you come to Lansing, who's these niggas, who I'm going to fuck with when I go to Lansing, if you want to meet the hood crowds. As far as like riding through, talking about where the hood's at and all that, it's hoods around that bitch, but it's a ghost town. You ain't gonna see nobody. You ain't gonna see nothing but dope fiends walking around.
You know, it's like nobody talks about Lansing. That's the crazy part. So you don't.
Yeah, motherfuckers always put Lansing with East Lansing. They always talk East Lansing, college town. No, Lansing is nothing like East Lansing. You right to Lansing, you motherfuckers around that motherfucker, it's fucked up around there. But it just don't look fucked up, but motherfuckers is fucked up around there.
Damn. Yeah, you know, they always say there's like kind of impoverished cities, parts of every city for real, except for like West Bloomfield and shit like that for real. Probably, like, probably nothing really wrong. I've been to West Bloomfield. I haven't seen anything fucked up for real. I haven't even seen a trailer park in West Bloomfield, to be honest with you. But every part has this area. Talk a little bit about the next steps. You know, you're dropping mixtapes, Lil Wayne style, just like going crazy with it. And talk about the next levels of reciprocation. What were you seeing after the mixtapes are dropping, and what kind of motivated you to continue?
I mean, what motivates me is because the feedback I get off it. When you hear motherfuckers you don't even know ride and playing your shit, that should give you the motivation. Like, okay, I'm doing something right with this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my. Every time I drop something, I love the feedback. That's what keeps me going.
What was like the biggest reciprocation you've ever gotten for one of your songs that meant something to you more than just what the views were or anything like that?
like what it meant to me. I don't know. It's just when motherfuckers let you know, like, bro, you one of the coldest I ever heard do this shit in the city. Like, I ain't never heard no nigga from Lansing talk like you, or that makes me want to go even harder.
What about some Detroit artists that you've collaborated with? Who you worked with now? Jug, Jug is obviously like very familiar.
I work with Jug. I got some shit with Big Jungle, motherfucker Bizz, artist. I got who else I did some shit with down there?
Yeah, Big Jungle's been on here too, man. Big Jungle's like his energy is just phenomenal. You seen him live?
Yeah, I just seen a couple ripping his shirts off and shit. He be tripping.
He goes crazy.
Yeah, that.
And then Jug's more laid back, kind of like chill, kind of calm vibes and shit. Kind of too. That's kind of cool because it's like two separate things working with you. It's like, how do you delegate who you want to work with? How do you delegate like the projects that you work with people on?
Me, I'm more of a punchline type of metaphor mixed with the real life shit type of rapper. So them the type of motherfuckers I cater to when I want to do music. But don't get me wrong, I like other motherfucking styles. Niggas who just do their thing and good at what they do. But
yeah,
when I do some shit, we gotta go bars. Or it's gotta be some real shit. I don't just want to do no flashy nigga talking about some big cars and all that. I ain't live that life. I never did. I never rode no Lambos and Bentleys and all that shit. I ain't motherfucking, like, I didn't got money. I got plenty of money in the streets, you know what I'm saying? But niggas would never fucking around this bitch with 30 on their neck and fucking 50 on their wrist and all that shit. No, I ain't talking about that because I ain't never did that.
I was just talking with an artist before you got here about that, and it's like, I like that approach more that it's from the beginning to the end, like the bottom to the top, versus like a lot of rappers are coming out now with the chains on already. It's like, damn, I didn't get to hear your struggle. I didn't get to hear anything. I just seen you come out. You already made it, but you're talking about how you didn't make it yet. And I'm like confused. Like, what happened? Like, did you make it? Did you not make it? Like, where are we at with it? And talk about how you keep this approach and how you kind of never switched up on that.
I'm just true to myself, like from the get go. Like, I'm never gonna be that nigga that's gonna be flawed to the point it's gonna be like, okay, nigga, we know that nigga lying. Like, no, like, it's never gonna be that deep. I'm gonna talk this street shit. I'm gonna talk it to and make you love it. I'm gonna make you, okay, that nigga just said some crazy shit, but it's real.
Somebody pulls up with you on a Rolls Royce during your video shoot. It's like, yo, we'll put this in your video, bro. You telling them, like, pull up on it, or what are you saying to them? And he's like, it's yours, it's not mine.
They can pull up, you know, so we can put the Rolls in the video, whatever, but it ain't gonna never be me in this. Like look at my, sitting on the motherfucker, look at my shit, and flexing for the camera and all that weird ass shit.
Yeah. Like letting somebody else borrow your chain for a music video. I've seen that in person because I used to shoot music videos. And I was like, I don't know if I'll do that. I don't know if I will let somebody.
Motherfucker put some chains on me in the video. We took that shit right off. Like, we can't do that. We can't do that.
I don't know, man. That's just. I don't know, man. That's kind of weird. That's too much for me. It's like somebody like saying, you can hit my girl if you want, bro. Like, nah, man. I'm not. For the video, you can hit my girl. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Nah, we ain't going that far.
Yeah, man. There's a lot going on in Detroit right now. Obviously, the spotlight's here, but anybody encountering the area, whatever, you know, it's part of that light too.
No, most definitely. Like I said, Detroit gonna be a big influence on any city in Michigan because it's the Mecca.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But motherfuckers be having their own sauce and gotta know how to use their own sauce. You can't just run with a whole nother city, whole formula. But I'm saying they what it is. Like, man, you gotta respect the Mecca. Like, it is what it is.
What do you feel like is the most important thing that's happened with music in Michigan in the past maybe 10 years?
What happened with
like, music in general?
I was locked up for 8 years, so.
Oh, wow.
So when I got out, like, the Detroit shit had took off. Like, before, like, the Michigan scene, as far as, like, Flint, Rio and all, I never heard no Flint rappers besides Dayton Family before I was locked up. Like, I wasn't hearing no Flint rappers. Like Babytron, Ypsilanti, and never heard none of that. No, all you heard was Detroit. And it was Vez and Pete, the East Side, and Doughboys before I left. Them was the main niggas putting on for Michigan. Like, Now it's like so many different motherfuckers, and they coming from all different angles. Like you gotta know, like you want a piece of this shit, jump in now, because Michigan got the wave. Like this Midwest shit is. This motherfuckers in Ohio sound, motherfuckers in Cali sound. They want to use the Detroit sounds. They riding that shit.
Yeah. So before you had to go away for a time, I mean, I'm assuming we're roughly talking about 2012.
No, I left in 14.
14. Okay, so at that time, music was what, man? That's kind of pre-social media still. So you're right. It wasn't easy to figure out about the new cats or any of these cats that are popping off right now. What was the music like for you at that time? That's Doughboy's Cash Out obviously is like popping right at that time.
Yeah, they was doing. I first heard them like 2010. Hey, like a lot of motherfuckers love Doughboy Cash Out, but me, I listened to it because I want to study the game and all that. But the niggas I really fuck with, like Bizz, that was my like the Clarity too. That was the shit I was riding around for a month straight.
That's one of the biggest influences, right? At that time.
Yeah, like far as like you're talking about on the music tip.
On the Detroit music scene, yeah.
Yeah, Bizz, like I took a liking to Bizz. Who else? I took a liking to Pablo had a little run right before I liked his little shit. I don't know what he doing now, but like back then he was one of them motherfuckers that was talking. Like his whole little style and shit, but
so you kind of missed the entry of the newer artists. So you kind of came in when they're already getting noise and things are already happening, right?
Yeah, I mean, in a joint, you be able to keep and up to date with everything that's going on, but you only get to hear the underground motherfuckers that's coming up. You get to hear Peasies and Vizzes and Babyfaces and them type of motherfuckers when you locked up. You get to hear all that. They dropping their shit all under JPay. But I never heard Baby Money or I never heard motherfucking Skilla, none of them. But when I come home in 2022 and you go look at their video, these motherfuckers 400,000, 500, 600,000 views. Motherfuckers going crazy. Like, but you don't hear that in the joint. You don't get to hear the up and coming motherfuckers like that. Now they might be on there now because they popping probably, but when I was in there, I ain't hear them.
How did they let you? So obviously I don't know anything about prison life or anything like that. How do you get to listen to the music?
It's a JPay machine, and they got a catalog on there where everybody be able to put their music, and then you get players, you get little motherfucking JPay tablets, and you get to plug it up to the JPay machine, and you can put your money on there, buy whatever is on there that's available. It's probably edited, though, but you still get to hear that shit.
That's kind of cool. I didn't know you could do that. Does that work with the same thing with TV, too?
Oh, you get your own TV if you can pay for it.
Shit. What's the TV cost?
Shit, about 150 to 200, depending on what brand it is. 13-inch.
Yeah. I didn't know. I thought because I watch like shows when they make it seem like you don't got shit when you're in a cell. Like they make it seem like nothing's in there. But then I was doing a live one day on Instagram, and then somebody hit me up in prison on their live, and I'm like, how the hell are you hitting me up from prison on the live? They're like, we get phones in here. I'm like, how? Like, this a real thing? And now they get the phones, like they're allowed to use them, or they just like snuck them in. Like, how does that shit work?
Phones?
Yeah.
Oh man, you get caught with one of them phones, they give you 18 months, an extra 18 months on your bill. You get caught with one of them phones. Yeah. Nah, you ain't supposed to have motherfuckers, but you know how that shit go. Motherfuckers manipulate, maneuver, do whatever they do.
They were hard too. They came on my live and they started beating on the walls and rapping. I'm like, this is hard ass shit. Too bad, like you guys aren't. They're like, we're doing life. I'm like, oh shit. Like,
nah, hell yeah. When you doing all that time, you ain't got nothing to lose. Why not cut into a guard and motherfucker see what you can get or do whatever possible you can do?
Yeah. What do you care to talk about that experience or do you want to not?
Well, like prison?
Yeah.
Yeah, prison shit.
How did it come? Like how the hell did that even happen? Like what position did you get yourself into?
Shit. Yeah, shit, 8 years. I got charged for attempted murder, CC dub, felon in possession of a firearm, and felony firearm. This was my original charges. I went to my prelim. He said some shit about his money was missing or something. They ended up charging him with an armed robbery. So I sat in the county for 13 months. I had to fight this case for 13 months. They never offered me nothing. They didn't want no more. They didn't want us to ever get out again. Like, that's how bad our names was in the street. Like, they didn't want us to ever get out again. So they put all those cases on us and they made us go to trial. So when we went to trial, I ended up the attempted murder. The jury didn't find me guilty for it. They found me guilty of a lesser charge. What was great bodily harm. The armed robbery, they threw that out because they couldn't prove that he was robbed or nothing like that. They found me guilty for all the gun charges and shit. So I ended up getting like 6 for the great bodily harm and 2 mandatory for the guns and shit. So I ended up like doing 8 years for that. But a couple niggas I was with though, they end up coming out with longer stick, you know what I'm saying? Because they end up getting found guilty on some higher charges.
Man. Yeah, that's terrible, man. Throughout that experience, did you leave with anything? I know with the when you were doing juvenile, you didn't really leave with anything too much.
Oh no, I left with a lot of shit out of prison.
Yeah,
when you did 8 years in prison, your whole mind frame changed. I'm 30 now, so I don't really want to be on here glorifying dumb shit. Like,
yeah,
but I mean, you got to talk about this shit because it's my life. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, of course.
When you in prison, you know what I'm saying, you able to meet so many different motherfuckers and people who educate themselves and minds elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no, if you growing like a man, you gonna take heed to the shit. You ain't gonna be stuck in the same place. I left the streets when I was 22. I'm not gonna be having the same mind state I had when I was 22. When I turned 26, 27, 28, I'm not. I'm in that bitch motherfucking taking heed to everything.
Yeah.
If it's gonna help me for the better, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So going to prison, yeah, you come out with jewels. You come out with learning how to move smarter and putting certain shit in the past. I don't move like a little nigga no more. I'm not out here hanging with 10, 15 niggas every day and we riding around 4 deep, motherfucking doing all the dumb shit we used to do. I ain't doing that no more.
Yeah, it's like a growing experience, right? Like leave all this stuff behind because you don't want to go through that again. I know it's kind of corny to bring up, but I always bring it up. But like everybody that gets out was First Day Out. That song with Tee Grizzley, was that something that you related to when you got out and when you listened to it?
Shit, I related to that while I was in prison. When T was on the same yard as me. We was at St. Louis together. I mean, we don't know each other or nothing, but he was on that yard with me.
Yeah.
And so when he dropped, everybody that was in our units and shit, oh, T drop. So we went to the RJ Pads and bought that shit. And that first day out, he was talking crazy on that motherfucker. So you can't do nothing but respect it because it was real shit. Like,
yeah, you didn't get to talk to him obviously when you guys were locked up or whatever. But hearing the music and just everybody that didn't know him talking about him made it like a bigger hype. Like, damn.
Nah, yeah, I think he kind of blew up from the joint. Like the niggas in the joint really was in there grabbing and shit. Like everybody on the yard was rapping that shit.
Man, that's crazy as hell, man. And so when you get out, obviously, that's now, right? Like 2022?
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that's, so you just, what's the motives right now? What's the plans? How are you going to put out the music? And what's kind of the motivating factor to get this launched again?
To get the music out?
Yeah.
So, I got my partner over here. He's the brains. So
yeah.
The whole goal is, work platforms. We gotta get Only Say Cheeses and these bigger platforms and get our name out there. Like,
is it foreign to you, like these platforms and all this social media and stuff like that?
I mean, like before I left, it was like World Star. Like,
yeah.
Like you had to pay damn near probably like $1,000 to get your shit on there back then. Like now they got so many other little shit. You could pay some $25, $50 and get your shit on these little pages and be able to get some views just from different places. You know what I'm saying? Not just stuck in Lansing. You can have some Detroit niggas judge your shit. You can put your shit out in Houston somewhere and have them judge your shit. Ohio pages. Put your music on there, see what they think about it. So
yeah, it's a different time. There's so many different outlets. Like you said, World Star was like the biggest one, so everybody was paying top dollar to get on there. Now World Star has to compete with the fact that Say Cheese is out there, Detroit Rap News is out there, all these outlets are out there for their own cities and stuff. Hey, listen, man. I'm gonna say one thing. I posted my friend's song yesterday. I just did it just to do it. I was like, my boy put out a song. I put it, bro. That bitch got 20,000 views on my, bro. Seriously, like I couldn't even believe the reach that I get with my page. I have like 1,000 followers. I posted this song yesterday, 1,700 likes, 31,000 views, 458 saves, 2,922 shares. I'm like, bro, what the? I should start charging people to post on my page.
Most definitely.
But, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but you're right though, man. World Star, what people forget that World Star was the biggest thing, and now I don't know if people still watch World Star anymore. I don't know if a big.
I be trying to go in there and see what be going on, but it don't be looking like that should be up to date to me no more or something. It just be feeling like
it's washed out.
Yeah, like I don't know. It just don't give me the same vibe it used to back then.
Because they started taking so much money, bro. People started paying to get on. And
it don't even look like it's music on there no more. It's more like shit. I go in there, I be seeing people get shot and all type of crazy, getting their ears bit off and weird shit. Like,
yeah.
Fuck.
So it's a different time for you. You're kind of coming up you kind of came back when social media is prevalent now. Now before it was kind of like, yo, what you did in the streets and how you got your name out there. Now it's like what you did on the fucking internet.
Nah, most
and
definitely.
Gotten to see both sides of it. Taken from your whole experience of everything you've done, do you feel like you've gotten the reciprocation you deserve from the content that you had put out? Do you feel like your name still had stayed strong with the fan base that you had built before you had to go away?
Oh yeah. My the motherfuckers that supported me before I left, yeah, they couldn't wait till I got home to drop some new music, cause they always want to prove to other rappers that ain't nobody fucking with me. So they always like, man, I can't wait till my baby get home. Ain't nobody fucking with that nigga, and they knew that, and they know that, and they stand on that. So they gonna keep supporting the music.
What do you feel like is the biggest, and for your own personal favor, what's been the biggest accomplishment for you, overall, not even just with music, but just everything? What do you feel like something was a transitioning point that you're just proud of what you've done?
Yeah, I'm proud to motherfucking be where I'm at today. Like, could have been worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could have been gone couldn't be right here with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It's a blessing that I'm here, because, like I said, I was in them courtrooms. I went to trial with my niggas, and some of them niggas didn't come out smelling like me. And I could be right there doing the 20 ball, like.
Yeah.
So I'm just proud to be where I'm here right now and be able to motherfucking even try to do the music shit.
Yeah, for sure, man. Always hearing somebody's story makes you just want to engage and check out their music and check out everything they've done more so. So whatever future projects you come out with, man, I'm going to be looking forward to checking those out. Is there anything you want to shout out or promote before we sign off?
Shout out to Moneyball. Got to shout out Moneyball, because they believe in me. So when I came home, they was, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Moneyball, I got to shout out all the supporters that love the music. That Land Talk, that's my album. No Pick Bizz, Land Talk. That's a crazy album. It's gonna be underrated because nobody's really heard it yet. But I promise you, if you go listen to that album, you're gonna hear more bars than you probably ever heard. And my bars, not to knock on nobody else, but I don't spit silly bars. No, my bars is raw bars and they real punches, like. So you gonna hear that from a Lansing nigga. I'm like, they ain't never heard a Lansing nigga talk like this before. Don't get me wrong, Lansing niggas rap, they talk their shit, but I just do. I'm different, and I'm gonna say it like that. I'm different.
Oh, but last thing I wanted to ask you, who came up with your name? Like, how did that come together?
No Pick. No Pick. I came up with No Pick in 2011, just on some Twitter shit. Like, that was my name, because my name started off as Bizz. Like, that was my name when I was 16, 17. My motherfucking. But I used to go on YouTube and I'd type in Bizz. There'd be fucking 30 other motherfuckers with Bizz on there. I'm like, no, I can't have that. And I ain't never had no pics in the motherfucking drugs I sold or the niggas. So I was like, fuck it, I'm No Pick.
That's actually fire as fuck. That's it. Well, look, man, I appreciate you being a part of this, man. Like I said, hearing your story makes me look forward to checking out the new music that you came out, that you're coming out with Land Talk, and everything like that, man. Hearing what Lansing has to offer. I mean, like I said, you're the first person on this couch to be from Lansing.
Yeah,
so
F-17, man, L Train. I'm going to hold it down for us, for sure.
Every city in Michigan can bring something to the table, man. Hopefully we can bring the shine of Lansing with you and what you're doing out there, man. Appreciate you for being a part of this. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the sweater, goddammit. Thank you for getting my actual size. Every time I tell people small, I get extra large and shit, and I don't even rock it, so appreciate you guys hooking me up with this. And the socks, man. I'm rocking these socks tomorrow for my date.
You gotta go.
I gotta go.
You hoop? You gotta put them socks on when you hoop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I don't hoop anymore, but I'll get back into it. I broke my leg hooping, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm taking a break from it. When I come back, Kyrie Irving in this bitch. People don't believe I can hoop. That's the crazy part. I hooped. I can hoop. I'm telling you what's happening. Moneyball. Thank you guys so much for giving me. Yeah, Moneywear Sportswear. And you guys got a building too. Where's the building at?
Moneyballsportswear.com, 30215 Southfield Road.
Southfield Road, man. Go check it out, man. Appreciate you guys being a part of this. Appreciate you, No Pick, man. Hilo Visuals is shooting these productions. We're at Parallel Sound Studio. We're out. Peace.